As far back as I can remember, I've always just never felt like I fit in and just always felt like an outsider. No matter how many friends I had, I just always had this alone feeling in my life. And as I grew older, I kind of strayed away from God. I was introduced to alcohol, and I finally got heavily into using meth. And I guess for the last 13 years, I was using the drug just about every day. That's all I went to sleep thinking about, and all I woke up thinking about was either using the drugs that I had or finding more drugs, and it just became my life. I went through 2 marriages that were failed, and one of the biggest problems in that marriage was drugs. And honestly, I don't think people can understand what addiction does to your life, or how you're just in a spiral. You just have this. No matter how bad things get, you justify it somewhere. You have times of remorse, but the drug has such a control over your life that you really just don't, you just feel like there's no way out. You feel hopeless. I remember February 17th, 2009 was the last day I used drugs, and that was the first day that I hit my knees and prayed to God to save me. I had this moment of desperation in my life that there was just me alone, and I felt so alone, and there was nothing to turn to. And I just remember I was on the patio, and I just got on my knees. I said, God, just please help me to go in and tell my wife everything. And no matter what happens, I need to tell her, Lord, I need your help to help me tell her and just save me from this. And I remember there's this country song called Wave on Wave, and I think about this song every time I think about that day, because when I prayed to God, I felt this wave come over me. And the song goes about, you came upon me wave on wave, and you're the reason I'm still here. Was I the one you were sent to save? You came upon me wave on wave. And when I prayed that day, I just remember this wave come over me, this feeling of somebody being there with me, of holding me and making me feel like everything was going to be all right. And I was crying. I remember I went in to tell my wife, and I was crying, but I just felt this relief in my life like I'd never felt before. At that moment, it was just like I just knew that God forgave me for everything. I just felt this forgiveness, and that empty spot I had in here, it started to fill up. If I had to say one thing to people out there that maybe have a problem with drugs themselves, or have family members that have a problem with drugs or alcohol or whatever, I would just tell them, don't give up. Don't give up. That's what I would tell them. And trust in God, because that's what saved me. He can save you too.